mornings. How are we feeling? What's going on?
Busy morning, so I'm ready to...
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Is there something in particular we feel like we need today?
Lower back.
Yeah,
Lower back.
Just so stretching that lower back.
Yeah, lower back. Yeah, fair. I've noticed this in every class, because obviously people tend to go to the same classes, that you can identify what each class is going to be, because you know the people that are going to be there.
Yeah.
So it's like my class yesterday, I know that there's always a girl that has lower back, and then there's a couple others that hips. So anytime I ask her, I'm like, lower back and hips, yep. Yeah, so you can, plan it that way. Fun. I have got a plan. I've been looking at my plan, and I don't know whether I want to stick to the plan. But yeah, we will feature some lower back stuff in there. It's midday rejuvenate, so it's going to be a nice steady one. Hip loving, lower back loving. Yeah, maybe a bit heart opening as well. We'll see how we go. But I just want us to take it really steady today, I think. Let's start seated. I was going to start us in a slightly different way, but no, we will start seated just because I think that's going to be a bit more comfortable. Okay, if you want to prop yourself up on your bolster, you're welcome to. Let me get the incense lit as well. Okay, so yeah, the bolster just giving you a little bit more space, a little bit more of a lift. Perhaps that helps the knees to settle down towards the earth with a bit more ease. Okay, and as the bolster supports you here, perhaps it allows us to not feel so kind of compressed down towards the earth. It creates that little bit of lift. It creates this idea that we're already starting to rise up to the sky without needing that to be so exaggerated, okay? So let those sit bones nestle in. Let the palms of the hands land down towards the knees. And of course, let's take this real moment to let those shoulders drop back and down, okay? And maybe in that we didn't realize how high the shoulders were, how high up towards the ears the shoulders were. So perhaps sending those little reminders every so often that it's okay to soften. It's okay to release. It's okay to just breathe and be here without needing to hold yourselves to a certain standard or expectation. As always, just let yourself arrive and meet yourself exactly as you are, knowing that it is and always will be enough. And of course, in these opening few moments, maybe there's a lot to be found, a lot to be discovered. Many thoughts, many emotions, many sensations, all moving throughout the body and the mind. So perhaps we allow the awareness to do a couple of passes throughout the body, taking in the entirety of you. And perhaps each time we let the awareness travel throughout the body, perhaps diving in a little bit more, looking a little bit more closely, picking out the tiny details here and there. And of course, we're not searching for anything in particular. We don't need to run through any kind of checklist, but perhaps noticing what naturally rises to the surface. And maybe it's in these first few moments that not only do we get clearer on what it is that we are experiencing right now, but also getting clearer on what it is that we're needing. So whatever that might be, whatever might be landing for you here, again, just letting it all sit. As you simply sit and breathe here, everything else kind of lands here with you. No rush, no race, and what a beautiful thing it is that we have this opportunity right in the middle of our day. And as some of us have already had busy mornings, and you might be going on to have a busy afternoon, again, just be here now. Perhaps it no longer matters what happened earlier on throughout your morning. Perhaps it no longer matters what might happen later on this afternoon. But what does matter is you right here, right now. So of course, tailoring the practice to suit you, dedicating the practice to suit you. And of course, just gently tending to all these many thoughts, emotions, sensations, and kind of sifting through all the stuff we might have here. And let's, of course, come to that breath of yours. And just notice its natural, steady pace. Really let yourself drop into that breath as best as you can. And as you feel into that movement from within, that subtle expansion, contraction, that rise and fall of the belly and chest. Maybe as you're seated here, there's a very gentle sway, and it's so small, it's so tiny, it's so subtle, that again, it really does take that dropping in to notice it. And perhaps just getting the sense of just letting the breath carry you. And as you drop in even more, you might even start to notice that steady thump of your heart within your chest. And just noticing these natural rhythms from within, and perhaps letting these set the pace for your practice, for the rest of the day, for the rest of your week, and perhaps even into the rest of this month. Maybe there's no limit here. And perhaps we're all moving at a slightly different pace, perhaps we're all oscillating at a slightly different pace. But of course, this breath is yours, this heart is yours. And just seeing how these inner processes are communicating to you today. What little whisperings are here. So a few more moments just to listen, drop in, check in. Not needing to find any kind of answer. Not needing to come to any kind of conclusion. Just this gentle observation of everything as it is right now. And in your own time, feel free to deepen that breath of yours. Maybe taking in a slightly lengthier inhale. And maybe letting that exhale sigh out through the mouth. And of course, notice how good that feels. So you can take another and another and another, but it's your pace, your breath, your moment, your practice. And maybe as you deepen that breath, that subtle sway builds just a little bit more. And of course, you might start to exaggerate it a little bit more. You might feel drawn to a particular movement here, but again, we don't need to rush into anything. Just continue to allow that breath to build, allowing the body to take up space here, the breath to take up space here, and trusting everything else will naturally follow. So again, on the inhale, feel the rise of the belly and the chest, a slight lift of the chin maybe. And the exhale, just to soften and surrender into this newfound space you are creating here. Couple more of those, big breath in. Big breath out. Let's go for one more big inhale. And a big exhale. Nice. And then of course that breath will continue, but maybe now starting to invite in just a little bit more movement. And that movement can be anything you'd like it to be. Maybe you're drawn to a little tick-tock of the head, side to side. And again, that can be so slow, so soft. Rolling the chin down towards the chest. Maybe it feels okay to circle the chin up to the sky. So there's no real pattern or structure. You can change direction whenever you wish to. And whenever you need that reminder or that injection of kind of freshness and newness, take another delicious drink of breath in. And again, exhale. Like in these moments, you can welcome in the new, sigh out the old, whatever that means for you. And maybe on each inhale, there's a little bit more lift up to the heart space. Maybe the shoulders start to get a little bit more involved, squeezing the shoulder blades together back behind you maybe. And perhaps as you exhale, we drop the chin down. Maybe the spine starts to get a little bit more involved, rounding through the back a little bit here. Soft sway side to side maybe a gentle cat-cow motion. Beautiful, maybe even some circles through the ribs, okay? Let's see how slow and how soft we can allow this to be, but again, still letting it build, Okay, still letting the body take up more space, letting the heart literally move through space, the lungs literally move through space. Beautiful. And as the hands, perhaps they're still connected down towards the knees, maybe the fingertips start to get a little bit more involved, perhaps just in giving the body a little bit of a squeeze, all right? The knees a bit of a squeeze, the thighs a bit of a squeeze, okay? So really connecting to your body, connecting to your breath, connecting to your movements, and just letting it build in a way that feels just right, just for you, okay? And as it builds, maybe we are starting to really crave that nice big opening across the heart, that big lift of the chin, of the gaze up to the sky. And perhaps again, the exhale 2 rounds. Beautiful, really well done. There's going to be a few more moments of this, and if the arms start to want to take up a little bit more space, they could do. Even if it's just a swirl and twirl through the wrists out to the side, taking the arms out wide, spreading your wings maybe. Perhaps they slowly float up to the sky, still honoring that you're still so safely rooted here, but of course there's all this potential, this space up above. So maybe we start to reach up towards that space up above. Nice, really well done. So here, of course, we're taking ourselves through our own little slow dance. Nice, okay. Take another big breath in. Big breath out. Nice, okay, let's meet here with the fingertips reaching up tall, tall, tall. Take up as much space as you can, or as much space as you wish to. And then as we exhale, we're gonna let that left hand float down, right fingertips reaching up and above. So of course, that's just gonna take us into a nice and easy side body stretch here, and you can still be softly moving or wriggling around. If you wanna bring a block underneath that bottom hand, you're welcome to, just to rise the ground up to greet you a little bit. Okay, so again, maybe there's still that slight sway, maybe almost like an opening and closing action. Nice, play with where you're sending or angling your chin. Take another big inhale, big breath out. Nice. As we inhale, we're going to slowly rise that all the way up and just feel as you can lift up and over to drift across to that second side. Beautiful. So we're kind of settling into a nice free floaty practice so far, all right? Just literally seeing how we can drift from one place to the next, one moment to the next, one breath to the next. Beautiful. Okay. So again, you can still take some movements here. Feel as you can take the time to get into all these little sweet spots. Take another big breath in. Big breath out. Nice. As we inhale, we're going to take it all the way back up high to the sky. So again, grow tall, slight lift of the chin maybe. And then as you exhale, you're going to rotate the thumbs down. You're going to start to squeeze those shoulder blades together back behind you. So it's a big circle of the arms back and down, lifting up to the heart space as you go. Beautiful. And then maybe the hands come down towards that bolster, and you can have another little shrug up to the shoulders, another little tick-tock of the head side to side, maybe just to kind of shake things off a little bit. You can keep the eyes closed if you wish to, but maybe now's the moment we start to flutter the eyes back open. And it's just gonna be a little pick up of the knees, okay? Let's plant the feet down towards the earth, maybe a little wriggle to the toes, and let's bring the hands back onto the body. Give the thighs a bit of a squeeze, okay? The knees a bit of a squeeze. Nice, inner thighs a little bit coming down to the shins, maybe. Coming down to the calves, nice. And again, just really tending to the body in a way that makes sense. And of course, you can come down towards the feet, see how it feels. So just really give the feet a nice big, almost like a nice big hug through the hands, all right? Okay, take another big breath in. Big breath out. Okay, now from here, you are going to step the feet out a little bit wider. It's a slightly different transition, okay? And you can use the hands into the bolster to help you. But all it's going to be is a little shift up and out of the bolster. See if we can bring it into our malasana, okay? Now again, you could have hands down towards the earth or hands down to some blocks. Let's maybe wriggle around here a little bit to begin with. That's like sway from side to side, maybe. Beautiful, really well done. Take a steady inhale. Steady exhale. Then let's maybe settle into the shape, and perhaps here, palms to hands come together, thumbs drawing back towards your sternum, sternum drawing back towards, or sternum drawing forwards towards your thumbs, right? Elbows into the inner crease of the knees to encourage the knees out wide. Beautiful. So maybe there's a little bit more potency here, and then you might still feel that bolster just gently underneath you. Take a big breath in. Big breath out. Okay. And then from here, you're going to slowly release the fingertips down towards the ground. And of course, it's going to be your forward fold here. So a nice big push down through the hands and feet. Take the hips up high, and you can keep the feet out a little bit wider here. And maybe there's just a moment or an opportunity for this ragdoll, okay? Maybe there's those subtle shifts of weight through the feet. So you might feel a slight sway kind of forwards and backwards, up to the toes, up to the heels, the feet maybe. Beautiful. Okay, take another big breath in. Big breath out. Nice. And then from here, we're going to take this delightfully slow, roll it through the spine so you can bend through the knees. Take your time, rolling up bone by bone. And let's keep the feet slightly wider so you've got this real nice steady base underneath you. Head rises. And let's drop those shoulders down and away. Let's take this particular roll down. As you send the shoulders back and down, you're going to bend through the knees, send the bum back and down, and then melt belly to thighs, heart to shins, slowly come back down into that fold. Beautiful. Okay, pause here, take another breath. And an exhale. And then from here, you're going to start to sink it into the knees again, turn the toes out, drop it back down into that malasana. Now again, sit bones might kind of graze the bolster a little bit. If you feel like it's getting in the way, feel free to take it out from underneath you completely. Nice little ankle crack there, nice. And then from here, we're going to have a few moments to reach towards the diagonal. So your right hand is going to reach down and away, arm to the inside of the knee, left arm up to the sky. And again, maybe exploring the space up and above, maybe even just a little swell up through the wrist if you fancy it. Take a breath in. And then as we exhale, we're going to slowly float that down and of course change it over. Left fingertips reaching down and away, right arm up and away. The lower body kind of remains the same, right? So the lower body still in that malasana. Exhale, bring the top arm down. One more time side to side here. So right arm down, inhale, left arm up. And then again, exhale, change it over. Left arm down, inhale, right arm up. Beautiful. And then again, as we exhale, let's bring that right hand down. Let's bring fingertips down towards the earth. You're going to bring yourself back up into that forward fold. So again, nice big stretch out through the legs. Beautiful. And here you might play with a little bit of a bend through one knee, then the other. So again, maybe there's a bit more of a sway side to side and kind of feeling the earth beneath you, feeling the mat beneath you. And of course, feeling nice and rooted and held. Okay. Maybe there's a block that wants to come underneath the right hand here. Just again, you're rising the ground up to greet you. And from here, you're going to send this left arm back and up. Let's sink a little bit into that right knee whilst you lengthen that left leg. Beautiful. Maybe also think about rolling that left hip back a little bit. Take another breath in. And a breath out. Beautiful, and then from here, let's quite simply dive that left hand down, change it over, so left hand coming down towards the block, and of course that right arm sweeping back and up. Nice, so again, you're sinking into the left knee here, and rolling that right hip back. Beautiful. Take another breath in, breath out. We're going to dive that right hand all the way down, bring it back into this fold. And again, let's have one more of those roll up and roll down. So bend through the knees. Take your time as you slowly stack it up bone by bone. Beautiful. Okay, head rises. Now again here, nice big lift of those shoulders up, back and down. You're going to bend through the knees, send the bum back, and again, melt it back down into that fold. Okay, belly to thighs, heart to shins. Super well done. Okay, now again, another little pause in this fold. Here, take a steadying breath in, steady breath out. Beautiful. From here, reach back through the legs for that bolster and now bring it in front of you, okay? Now again, you're going to keep this nice wide base through the feet, maybe encouraging the toes to point a little bit further forwards here. Grabbing hold of the ends of the bolster, you're going to bring it up towards the chest and you're going to literally sandwich it in between the belly and thighs as best as you can. So there is a slight soft bend to the knees here. And then with this, let the arms hang heavy, let the head hang heavy, okay? Beautiful. So the more we let go through the back of the neck, through the shoulders, the more we feel we can surrender into this shape, all right? It's okay. And as long as we're feeling comfortable here, you can still have that slight shift of weight forwards and backwards to the feet maybe. And hopefully there's a real nice release for the lower spine here. And sometimes it can feel quite potent, all right? Sometimes we can literally feel those vertebrae kind of slowly separating from one another and those spongy spaces in between, just having more space to expand, to soak up what's offered. Okay, and whilst you're here, let's take a few real deep drinks of breath. Send it down to that lower spine as best as you can. Almost feel like that broadening across the lower back, that kind of sweeping across the lower back. Nice. One more inhale. One more exhale. Okay. And then from here, just a slight lift of the head and neck as you bring the hands towards that bolster. Let it fall out from between the belly and thighs. And then just let that bolster come towards one side, okay? And then from here, we're going to have another roll all the way up. So again, bend to the knees, slowly stacking up bone by bone. Nice, okay. And then head rises. Let's just let the shoulders roll up, back and down. We're going to stay standing for a moment. Beautiful. Okay. You're more than welcome to have a little wriggle out to the legs if you want to kind of pedal out to the feet a little bit here. And again, if you want to narrow the stance slightly, that's okay. But seeing how it feels to come to standing, and again, keeping things nice and simple here. You're going to take a big breath in. As you exhale, drop the chin down towards the chest. Okay. As you inhale, you're going to sway the ear towards one shoulder. So perhaps you're going to the right or left first, doesn't matter. And then as you exhale, gradually bring it all the way back down to the chest. Inhale, take that across to the other side. And exhale, bring that back down, chin to chest. Beautiful. It feels okay to do so. You can revisit that full circle again, lead on the head, drop back. And feeling that opening across the front of the throat, up to the sky, all the way around and down. And maybe alternating the circle here, so going back to the way you came. Beautiful. You're going to take that one more time, side to side, and maybe the neck is starting to feel a little bit freer here. Again, little pockets of fluidity starting to make themselves known. And just trusting that's going to continue rippling down throughout the rest of the body. Okay, perhaps one more big inhale. Big exhale. Nice. Let's meet here with the chin down towards the chest. Maybe an extra shrug of those shoulders back and down. And then as you inhale, you're going to rise the head up through the center. Now again, let the shoulders follow. So again, send the shoulders forwards and up. Exhale, squeeze them back and down. Keep that going a couple times. Now maybe there's a slight bend to the knees as the shoulders drop down, and then a big rise up as the shoulders lift. Beautiful. So again, encouraging that fluidity into the knees as well. And there's that soft kind of bend and stretch, that soft rise and fall. Beautifully well done. Okay, let's again take another steady breath in. Steady breath out. Nice, and then from here, take a nice big sweep of the arms wide and up, okay. Growing taller and taller. Now from here, the right hand is going to take hold of that left wrist. You're going to lengthen through that left-hand side and start to lean up and over to the right. If you wish to, you're more than welcome to keep the feet firmly planted underneath you, or maybe shift the weight towards the right foot to go ahead and cross the left foot back behind you over to that right side. Slight bend into that front knee, sending this left hip around and down, and then the heart space lifting. Beautiful. Take another inhale. Take another exhale. And then inhale to slowly rise that all the way back up. Beautiful. You're going to release the hands and then quite simply step that left foot back in underneath you. Switch the grip, left hand taking hold of the right. And again, we grow tall through that right side. Lean it up and over to the left. Okay. And again, you can stay here. Or maybe shift the weight into the left foot and start to sweep that right leg back behind, cross it back behind you over to your left-hand side. Sink into that front knee. Send that right hip around and down. Heart space around and up. Beautiful. Okay, take another big breath in. Big breath out. And then as we inhale, again, we're going to rise up, release the wrist, and again, step that right foot back in underneath you. Take another nice big stretch up toward to the sky. Exhale, nice big circle of the arms back and down. Maybe hands come towards the lower spine, and you might just have that little shift of weight forwards towards the toes, drive the hips forwards, and again, heart space lifts. If you want a slightly stronger stretch across the chest, you could interlace the fingertips here. I'll leave that entirely up to you. You're going to take another breath in. Breath out. Okay, if you have the hands interlaced, you're going to keep them interlaced as you soften through the knees, and you're going to flip the body up and over to dive into that fold. If you had hands to the lower spine, you are more than welcome just to take a gentle roll down to the spine there, with the crown of the head leading the way. Beautiful. And so as we come into this fold, so again, if you've got the hands interlaced, let the weight of the hands fall forwards. And if it doesn't feel great for the shoulders, you are, of course, more than welcome just to let the arms hang heavy. Maybe the fingertips kind of drag along the earth a little bit, but again, don't worry about that so much. Take another breath. Exhale. We're going to release the hands slowly, let them float all the way down to the ground. Let's have a little halfway lift here. As you inhale, fingertips towards the shins, you're going to ripple up to the spine. And then exhale, slowly ripple down. Beautiful. Let's bend the knees, plant the hands. We're going to start to walk the feet back into a plank pose, okay? But let's actually find this softness amongst this moment of strength, okay? So I'm going to invite you to have a slight pedal out to the feet, bending one knee, then the other. It's almost like you want to massage the balls of the feet and the toes into the earth. And as you press out through that back heel, notice the back of the leg come alive, okay? Nice. One more big breath in. Big breath out. And then from here, you could find this nice long line and stay there. Or maybe you want to pop the knees down, up to you. And then as we exhale, of course, we're just going to safely and softly bring the whole body all the way down towards the earth, okay? Now maybe we want to take a Sphinx to begin with, of course, seeing how lower spine is feeling. Is it feeling quite pinchy to the lower spine today? Or perhaps the heart space is kind of happy to rise up and expand. All right, take another big breath in. Big breath out. We're going to take a series of back bends here. So from here, you're more than welcome to stay within your Sphinx, or maybe pressing down to the fingertips and perhaps starting to rise the elbows away, okay? And again, if you want to keep the elbows down, that's cool. Wherever you are, shoulders soften back and down. And again, remind yourself of that softness within the shape, even if there's a little tick-tock of the head side to side, or a little release to the jaw, or even that tiny space between the eyebrows. Nice. Where can we soften just that little bit more? Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, you're going to steadily ripple it all the way down. You can take that same option again, or perhaps take the hands off the edges of your mat, tenting the fingertips off the edges of your mat. And as you inhale, big loop of those shoulders down and away. And then again, we rise. So this perhaps might be a slightly higher lift, but you're only going to rise as high as feels comfortable. If you want to come back to that Sphinx, that's cool. Big breath in. Big breath out. Nice, slowly ripple it all the way down. Now again, you can take any of the previous variations here, or perhaps now we start to reach the fingertips towards the back of the room. So thumbs are pointing down to the ground, pinky fingers up to the sky. You're going to really think about squeezing through the glutes here. That's going to help with the lower spine out. As you inhale, stretch those fingertips to the back, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and again, start to rise up through the heart space. We're going to keep the toes lightly resting down to the ground here. Think about the glutes driving down. Beautiful. Take a big breath in. Exhale, ripple down towards the earth. Let's have a moment here, maybe hands on top of one another, forehead down to the backs of the hands, and you're more than welcome to have a little wriggle of the hips from side to side, just to kind of shake that off a little bit. There's going to be one more variation we're going to take here. Okay, take another breath in, breath out, and then from here, inhale, rise the head and heart away from the backs of the hands, and you could repeat the same again. Fingertips to the back of the room, or maybe interlace the fingertips. And you're going to use that press of the knuckles to the back of the room to encourage that lift. Beautiful. Maybe now we engage the legs, float the feet off, really stretch out through the toes, lengthen through the back of the knee. Beautiful. Take a big breath in, feel that rise. Exhale. And then again, let it release. Release the hands. One hand on top of the other, forehead down to the backs of the hands. And again, maybe the hips want to have a good old wriggle, side to side. Super. Okay. Take another breath in. And that breath out. As we inhale, let's rise up through the head and heart. You're now going to slide the hands underneath your shoulders. This time we're just going to peel the body away from the earth. So let's lift up through head and heart, ribs, belly, eventually the hips. You're going to send it straight back into that child's pose, okay? Notice this decompression across the lower spine here, okay? So you're more than welcome to have a bit of a wriggle side to side, like a slight sway of the torso side to side. Maybe even rolling the forehead across the earth a little bit, like you want to roll at the forefront of your mind. And just take a moment to notice how comforting that actually is, rather than just going through the motions here, just really noticing what the practice has to offer. These moments of softness, of ease, and again, you can really lap that up as much as you choose to. Again, we don't always need to be doing the absolute most, we don't always need to be working so hard, nor do we need to kind of hold ourselves back or limit ourselves from this softness, from this ease. Beautiful. Take another big breath in. Big breath out. Nice.